we should be the eyes and ears of our customers because they don't see or hear what we do.
Wow, that's why he's giving that advice. Because you think about it, when a homeowner has a situation, a customer, whatever, whether it's commercial, residential, you know, they have a ton of choices. They could have called anyone, but they called us. And I guarantee, if you're watching this show this morning, I guarantee there's someone cheaper, right? And one of the things that people decide when they're having someone in their home or their business, their place of safety, security, comfort, is who am I bringing in? And they're bringing in professionals because they want the whole picture.
They do.
Right.
They do. And so what we want to talk about today, let's practice. Let's practice at one time.
Sure.
And so, and then we can talk about it a little bit more.
I'll be the customer, and what we'll do is we'll show during the call, and then maybe we can do something about how we talk about difficult conversations and sharing the facts, and maybe what a text you'd be thinking of.
Okay. I'll be the customer to start with, and we'll flip-flop. Hey, so, all right, Eddie, you've been upstairs looking at my furnace. What's going on?
Hey, Mr. Rollins, thank you. Do you remember early when I said if I happen to see anything that could have been an issue for you, your home, or your family, you might want to know about it?
Yeah. Did you find something?
You know, it's probably better if I just show you in person.
Well, just tell me what's going on.
You know, it's probably easier if you just see it. Why don't we take a look at it together?
Okay.
And then we'll
and is this going to cost a lot?
Oh, well, we'll be able to talk about all your options, and don't worry. The good news is we'll be able to take care of you today. So. You see, this is your equipment. You've got a part here. This part isn't meant to look like this. You see how it's moving. You see how it's not doing what it's meant to do. It's broken, it's rusted, it's making noise, whatever the case may be. And you just say, do you know much about this part?
I don't really.
Okay, so the good news is it didn't leave you without heating today, but it's in my professional opinion, it's going to need to be done. Now, the good news is we do this every day. I have them on the truck. I'm going to give you lots of options, and you're going to let me know what to do. But today, we're going to need to talk about that in a little bit. And I just wanted to make sure you saw it. Do you have any questions about this?
No, that's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
just how much is it going to cost me today?
Right.
Yeah. So I really like that. And so everybody on this call today, and I mean 100% of the people, your parents told you, don't believe everything you hear.
Right on.
Don't believe everything you hear. So if you just tell the customer you have a part that's broken, sometimes they don't believe that because we've been taught that.
Or they don't understand it.
Or they don't understand it. But if they see it, they'll say, I saw it with my own two eyes.
So important.
And now there's lots of ways to do that. You don't have to drag somebody into the crawl space, do you?
Nope. I would tell you, it's interesting. We talked about this for years. And I think it's, with the advent of all the tools we have, like I've seen so many people use iPads and even phones because, like you say, some are in crawl spaces, some are in attics and difficult to access. You know, sometimes it's on the back of something. And so I've seen a lot of technicians use technology to use to explain with pictures exactly before and afters and difficult parts. And you know, when you see a flame sensor, it doesn't look like much, but when you see it's all the way back there and all of the stuff has to be moved, that's where technology can really help, and especially if we've got immobile clients. Yeah.
Well, it helps you tell your story.
Right
so
on.
If you're taking pictures, you always want to take a picture way back,
Yep.
and then maybe one a little closer, and then maybe one like right at it. If you're taking a video, you might want to say, hey, here's your attic, there's your Christmas tree, here's your furnace.
Right on.
Right, so they know it's their attic, and you want that video to be super short. The other thing, like I've noticed that with technicians that are new to the trades or they just got started, we hear a lot of people say, well, y'all sent me to a house and I did a maintenance, or I was at this house and I did a simple repair, and then 2 years later we send that same technician back to that same house. And that's a good thing to do, right?
Yeah,
because people do business with people they like, trust, and know. And that technician says, wow, I looked at my notes and they were terrible from 2 years ago. Wow, I didn't see all that. And so what we believe happens sometimes is, as a rookie, we may go and we kind of look at the furnace like this. Oh, there's the problem. I'm going to talk to them about that one problem.
Right.
And then a couple of years later, like that that telescope opens up a little bit and we say, hey, wow, there's a furnace and it's got ductwork.
Right.
And then a few years into our career, we go, wow, there's a whole house attached to this thing and there's people living here.
Oh my, it's so
I should talk to those people.
Absolutely, because they're the ones that experience this system.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
That's so good, Jerry.
And so one thing I really like is to teach technicians is ask, don't tell.
That makes so much sense.
Ask, don't tell. So what happens is when we go to somebody's home in a spirit of trying to help people,
Yep.
because a lot of technicians have that. They
That's
want
all
to
they're
help
trying to-
people.
yeah.
They say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, let's just practice.
yeah.
Mr. Homeowner, hey, your furnace, your air conditioner's 12 years
Water heater,
old.
whatever, right.
And they only last about 12 years, and you should think about replacing it.
Well, thanks for letting us know, and we'll let you know.
So what happens is, you know, Dale Carnegie said, a man convinced against his will is still of the same opinion still. Something
Dale.
like that, right?
Dale.
Right? So when you go to somebody's home and you tell them what they should do, you're trying to put your will on them.
Yeah.
It's not their opinion.
Yeah.
And so when we turn that over to a comfort advisor, that's a really hard sell, because that homeowner never, it wasn't
Yeah.
his opinion to
That's
change
right.
it out, it was yours. And so ask, don't tell sounds more like this. Mr. Homeowner, do you have any idea about how old your furnace is?
Oh, let me see. We moved into the home 10 years ago. There was someone in for 4 or 5, I don't know, is it like 14, 15 years?
Okay, so it's about 14 or 15 years old. Do you have any idea how long they last?
Oh man, now that you say it, oh, is it about 15 years?
It's about that long at where we live. And,
Yeah.
what do you think we should do about that?
You know, we've been talking about it because some of our neighbors have been getting some replaced. I don't know. Do you guys help with stuff like that?
We do, and I'd be happy to have somebody come out and talk to you about it, or
Yeah, can they give you
set
some
that up.
options and
Yeah,
tell us about-
absolutely. And
Yeah,
then
let's do
then
that.
you'll have all your options.
Yeah.
So listen, if we could share something to help you today, be super effective in your job, it would be those 3 questions.
What are they?
Do you have any idea how old yours is? Do you know how long they last? What do you think we should do about it?
That's
gold.
good. Because, and I know that teases up to, you've got a big belief about our job is just to educate and inform, give lots of choices, and then the customer is the one that chooses. That's your big thing. You've got to let
right.
the customer choose. So let's talk about why this can be difficult. You know, I was talking to Jerry earlier about, you know, I loved the old detective shows. I thought they were from the 60s. Jerry thinks I'm from the 70s. I think he's just trying to say I'm older. But on the 2 channels we had of TV when I was a kid, there was these great detectives, and the thing they were good at, like whether it was Dragnet back in the day, it's just the facts, right? It's just the facts. We don't decide what kind of condition the system is before we get there, but we sure decide what we share, and we just want to share the facts. And a lot of times we editorialize, well, that can probably get a little bit longer. And man, you know, the thing about being in the trades, it gets easier as you go, but you also get used to stuff. So you've seen a 12-year-old system, you've seen a noisy compressor, you get so used to it. You've seen rusty water heaters, they'll probably last. And so we've got to break that tyranny of the familiar, and we got to imagine it factory fresh. You know, take that telescope away. And by the way, if we're there for the furnace and the water heater's dripping, we're allowed to share that. If the basement window's broken, we can share all those things. And as technicians, we got to be the eyes and ears, and we got to not get into how or why, or we just got to share the facts.
Just share the facts.
We're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow.
You were sharing with me this morning about a HVAC technician, a plumber,
Yeah.
that always looks at carbon monoxide detectors.
Yeah.
And we know plenty of HVAC guys that sell a lot of water heaters.
Yeah.
Because while they're there, they're just discovering, hey, the water heater was leaking, and I took the blinders off.
Yeah.
While I was looking at the furnace and the ductwork, I looked at the water heater and
That coffee can isn't meant to be under the water heater. That's not a fix, right?
Yeah. Do you have any idea how old your water heater is? Do you know how long they last? What do you think we should do about it?
I love it. Here's the last takeaway I'll give you. We talk about that plumber. You know, as technicians, plumbers, electricians, we get educated and we move through our career and we know things. And we talked about information asymmetry. That plumber, Eric, he got conviction about the life-saving importance of the blue-collar work we all do. And what he decided, he made a decision that since he knew something, he was going to talk to every single person he came into contact with that either had fossil fuel in their home or had a car in there. And we had a customer that was teed up to go there, and unfortunately they canceled, and they had a serious CO issue in their home, and it proved fatal. And we know that if that cat had gone in there, and he would have shared, and who knows what would have happened, right? The customer would have had a choice. And here's what I'll leave you with. If you know something and you don't share it, you better believe not making a choice is still making a choice. You decided not to share, and as technicians, we can't get caught in that trap. We got to just discover the facts. It's not up to us what to do with it, but we got to discover the facts. Right on?
Right on.
All right, why don't you take it to a takeaway for us today?
Hey, we appreciate the support. Hey, be a good doctor today. Find out what's going on. Discover the facts.
Be the eyes and ears,
Hey,
right?
be good and do good out there. We appreciate your support.